morning, Johnny students. We are starting with the preparation of the examination, and today is Department of Jurisprudence, ILW1501, Introduction to Law. Today we'll be dealing with what is right. You know, when you are doing an introduction to law, you will have been known by now that there is a unit where you have to deal with what is right. And today here we are to help you to understand in a simple. In order for you to understand what is a right, you have to understand the capacity, the legal subject, and legal object. Capacity, legal subject, legal object. For broader knowledge about that, you just need to visit the South African Law of Persons, PVL1501, a prescribed book, or even a study guide. You can get this information. According to this book, a legal norms makes a basic distinction between legal subjects, on the other hand, and legal objects. For example, animals, and they give examples. The term legal subject means any entity that can have rights, duties, and capacity. A legal subject, therefore, is any entity which the law recognizes as such and to which the law attributes the capacity to have rights, duties, and capacities. In other words, the law confers legal personality upon the entity. An entity upon which legal personality is conferred is called legal subject. An entity upon which legal personality is conferred is called a legal subject. The ability to have rights and duties and capacity is called legal capacity. The term legal object denotes any object which has economic value and upon which the law has not conferred the capacity to have rights, duties, and capacity, and which can therefore not participate in the legal commercial traffic. A legal object, therefore, is anything in respect of which a legal subject can have rights, duties, and capacities, but which cannot in itself have a rights, duties, and capacities. So let me explain this in an illustration way, in a simplified way. By this one, you just know that the legal subject now is the legal personality is conferred on the entities under legal subject. It goes further by saying South African law, this is very much important, recognizes two categories of legal subjects, natural persons and juristic persons. South African law recognizes two categories of legal subjects, which is natural person or juristic person. According to the information, a legal subject is based on the natural person and juristic person. Natural person and juristic. It goes by saying in our law of human beings, irrespective of, for example, their age, mental capacity, and intellectual ability, are recognized as a legal subject. Therefore, every human being can have a rights, duties, and capacities, although the content of these rights, duties, and capacities may vary depending on the factors such as the person's mental capacity and age. To distinguish them from other persona juris, humans are known as natural persons. According to the juristic person, the human beings or natural person is not the only legal subject recognized by South African law. The demands of the legal order necessitate that legal personality also be bestowed on certain associations of natural persons. Apart from the individual beings who make up such associations, each of one of whom is, of course, a legal subject. A new legal subject comes into being, namely the association itself. Such as association to which legal personality is granted is called juristic person. Now here is the illustration of what they are saying. They are saying a legal subject is either a natural person or juristic person. It means that these are the people, these are the entities that have a right and duties and capacity to act according to the law. A natural person, they are talking about humans. All humans are under natural person. They have a capacity to act, to enter into a contract, to go to court and lodge a complaint, or initiated legal proceedings, human beings have such a right. Juristic person is a company. For one now, it's a company. Company has a right and duties also conferred, similar to the humans, although some are limited. But natural person is the one that have more rights than this one. But we'll talk about that one when you will understand that one when you go on with it. Here is a clear illustration. The capacity. The capacity has the rights, duties, and capacities. Those all are conferred to the legal subject, who is either natural person or juristic person, so that they can act, so that they can have those all capacities. Capacity. Here is a full clear illustration. The capacity will have a right and duties according to the law to be conferred to the legal subject. Legal subject is either natural person or juristic, the person or company will have a right, duties, and capacity against the house, meaning that they have a right to purchase the house and they have a right to ownership. Now, as the rights, as the duties to exercise when they have the house, and the capacity is whether they are matured enough to have ownership of the house. So these are the clear illustration, which now I hope you understand. You are conferred as a person by capacity, rights, and duties. With those rights, you have a right to buy a house. Then you have a right of ownership. Legal object is anything of economical value, meaning a house is a legal object. A car is a legal object. There are many legal objects. However, a house cannot act as a legal subject because a house is not conferred rights and duties by capacity. Capacity has conferred legal subject, not legal object. It means legal subject can be a holder of the house, but the house cannot be a holder of legal subject. Legal subject has a right of selling the house, living in the house, enjoying the house. But legal object is just of economic value. Let me give another illustration so that you understand. Let me explain in a classes of a right. Number one, we have a Gloria. Gloria will go and purchase a car. When you purchase a car, immediately when you purchase a car, it means that now you have a right of a ownership, right? Whether you purchase a car, whether you purchase a house, whatever you purchase, you become owner of that thing. When you become owner of that thing, it means that this right, we call it corporeal or real right. Your Gloria as a legal subject, you go and purchase a car, exercising your rights, duties. After purchasing a car, you have ownership. Ownership, it means that now you can sell a car or maybe you can keep the car. Then this type of ownership is falling under corporeal or real right. This is a real right, which has the ownership in part. Now, as a Gloria, you are broke. When you are broke, you visit Mashonisa, whom we call in law pledge. Then you go to pledge and say, listen, man, I'm broke. Give me $100. Then he said, oh, in order for you to get $100, you need to left your ID as a security for the debt. Then you left your ID as a security for the debt. This type of right is under real right or corporeal right. A pledge. Pledge is when you go and get something and then you left the security for the debt so that when you repay your debt, you get back your ID. Then you left your ID as a security for the debt. Then when you have paid up your debt to Mashonisa, the Mashonisa will hand back the ID. This is called the pledge, Mashonisa. Just put it here so that you understand. Now you approach the Gloria now as a legal subject. You approach Tavo, who has a farm. You approach Tavo farm and said, listen here, Tavo, I don't have a way. Can you please give me a way? I will pass through your farm to my farm. Then Tavo said, no problem. You can use my gate to pass through to your farm. When you use Tavo's gate to pass through to your farm, now we are dealing with the servitude. Servitude, which you will learn much when you are dealing with PVL3701, the property law. Then you will learn that it's part of the real, which is corporeal. All those three, servitude, pledge, ownership, are part of the real right, which is corporeal right. Corporeal, right? So servitude is when they lend you immovable property as a way to pass through for a certain period or in a lease agreement or whatever you have signed. Then pledge, you hand something as a security for the debt. Then when you have repaid your debt, you get back your whatever you have handed. Then this ownership is when you have a real ownership. When you purchase something, then you become owner of that thing. Then this is called a real right. I hope that this is a illustration you have understood. So let's go to number 2. Now, as a Gloria, you have a right to reputation and integrity, personal integrity, which is falling under legal personality. Then Tavo, who gave you a way to his land, you manage not to pay 1 month, and he goes to the press to defame you and talk anything bad about you, which damage your reputation and your integrity, your physical integrity. Then you decided to sue Tavo because you have a right to legal personality. So you sue Tavo because you have a right to legal personality. When you are dealing with a law of damage, you will deal with defamation. Defamation falls under legal personality. Legal personality, well, because you have a right to reputation and integrity. And when person decided to defame you, you have to sue such a person for defamation of character. So it's under legal personality. Then, as a Gloria, you decided to to sell the shirt written "Mommy Boy." Mommy Boy. Then you are selling your shirt called Mommy Boy. Tavo decided to sell the same shirt called Mommy Boy. Then you sue Tavo because Tavo has violated your intellectual property. Again, you written a book called Mommy Boy, where you were trying to explain to the people how to be a motherhood. Then Tavo decided to take the book and copy whatever and sell to other people. He only changed the name, Mommy Boy to Papa Boy. Then you decided to sue Tavo because Tavo has violated your intellectual property right. Lastly, the car that you have bought, you find out that this car you bought from the owner. The owner has a right to deliver the car to you after purchasing. So you have a right to purchase the car which is on sale, and the owner of that car has a right as a corresponding obligation of delivering the car. When you purchase, when the owner delivers the car, we call this performance, which is another right. So you have a right to go to the store and buy a car, and then they have a right to deliver a car. This is performance. And then you have a right to go to Pick and Pay, then you stock whatever, then you pay, then they have a right to give you such a thing. Then is their performance. This is called the right to performance. Don't forget that the service, although it's free, however, you can be allowed to donate the vouchers. It can be the Hollywood, Top Up, Easy Load, OTT, One Voucher, Blu-rays, anything that you want. The donation is up to you. We do not tell you how much. It's up to you. You donate based on how information was useful